Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go over the trades that I took today as well as the plan going into tomorrow. So, today, this is what happened. So, if we go here, 30-minute time frame again, tells us the main trend in the market. And this is what we looked like on the call side. So, I gave you guys two scenarios yesterday. We ended up getting the one where this 30-minute ended up crossing. So, actually, I have the wrong contracts here. These are not the correct ones. If you look here, we had the 570 calls. And then we have, what's it called? Let me get this going. 570 calls and then the 560 puts right here. So as you guys know, on Friday, the puts or the bears ended up losing the trend. And we knew that because right here, 10's going below the 50 on the put side. And once this happened, the 50 started crawling down. And since this 10 went below the 50 on the puts, that means the bears lost the trend and we were neutral. And we were neutral pretty much the entire day up until like towards the end of the day here. We ended up flipping bullish, but it's still not the cleanest chart in the world because right now if you look, this 50 SMA is still, sloped down a little bit. So we're technically not, I wouldn't say we're bullish just yet. I'd want to see tomorrow's open and to see if that 50 does curl. If it curls up tomorrow, then we will be bullish, and if it doesn't, market will remain neutral. And if that chart goes negative tomorrow on the 30-minute here, then obviously bulls aren't gonna be able to take it and we probably drop. So what happened today was we ended up opening right around 9:30 here at this 50. We had some trouble here at that 50 SMA here. We ended up breaking above it, getting back below it, rejecting, and then finally breaking above it and getting a cross going a little bit. So here's how you would have played it. So if we go on the call side real quick, actually let me go to the puts. Actually no, yeah, the call side. So on the call side, this is what we looked like. So right off of open, we ended up having, let's see, we opened right down in here. So right at 9:30, we ended up opening down in here, and there was this little cross that happened, but I didn't take this. I didn't like the trade because we were sitting at that 30-minute 50 right at 9:30. So I was pretty much just waiting for a call cross to happen, or not call cross, the 30-minute to cross, and then we flip bullish, and then we could buy 50 dips, or this chart goes negative and we reject that 30-minute 50 and see some downside. So we ended up getting the negative cross. So right in this area, you could have taken the negative cross. The 10 was going below the 50 right here, and as we were going negative, we ended up getting a retest of this 10 and 50 SMA. Never closed above, so you would have never stopped out in this trade. And look at this beautiful move we got. We ended up hitting that make or break point at that 50. Your stop is a closure above. No reason to close it beforehand. You just wait for the candle to close above the 50. We never got it, so you don't stop out. And then look at the move we got. Very nice. I didn't call this out in Discord. I know Colton did. He ended up adding, I believe, somewhere down here his initial position and add some more on this pump up back into the 50. I would have done the same thing. That 50 SMA is a pretty solid spot to add. This little pop up here near the 10 was your spot to, pretty much get in. And right here, it could have averaged down a little bit more if you wanted. Obviously, wouldn't be throwing on, crazy size in this type of market since we are neutral. So, I wouldn't be worried about holding since I'm not, overly exposed or anything like that, like super heavy, because I know we're in a neutral market, and sizing is not an issue for me when we're in a neutral market. So maybe you could, you could hold a little bit longer. There's no reason to close this trade. System says to hold until that 50 breaks, so no reason to sell beforehand. And then right here we ended up hitting the 50, rejected, and that gave a good dump on NQ. I'm pretty sure Colton got like 60 points on this is when he closed it all. Maybe it went more than that. I'm not exactly sure because I didn't trade this because I was on the chart at the time. But yeah, it's a beautiful setup, really a textbook play. At this point right here, after we rejected 50 and got below the 10, I wouldn't want to see price get back above that 10 SMA. If it closed back above the 10, then I would have cut it. But since we remain below that 10 SMA, we rejected 50, closed the 10, and then we just hold it until that, either 10 gets reclaimed or, we hit TPs, and TPs was the option that happened. So it's a very simple trade. I mean, there was some drawdown on this pullback, but I mean, there's no reason to sell it. You gotta just follow the system like a robot, and you'll be able to catch a good trade like that in a neutral market. I mean, that's plenty of points right there in a neutral market. So can't complain. And then later on in the day, we ended up getting the 0-day cross. This one was a little bit harder to play. I know some people took it. I took it lighter size, just because I didn't get the entry I wanted. So, this 10's going above the 50, and pretty much this entire way there was no really good entry point in my opinion. There was no like point that I really liked it to take an entry, just because we just pretty much we just kept running, and there was no pullback at all at this point. So we end up crossing on probably the 35 candle right here, and we already pumped quite a bit, and we just trailed that 10 the entire way up, and there was not a single pullback here to really get a solid entry. So there's two scenarios. You could take the cross and leave some room to add, and that's what I did. I went in like lighter because I wanted that pullback, never got it, so I wasn't really able to add full size to this, because it was a good setup. We just didn't get a solid entry on it. So sometimes that will happen. The move will go without you. Sometimes I do get a better entry than what I had, and at that point can't really do anything about it. We just never got the add on this trade. Like a little pullback to the 10 would have been nice. That's what I was looking for pretty much for an entry, because that's our spot to add. We get the cross, get a little pullback to the 10, I would have added, and we got the move. But that's fine. You're not going to catch every single trade. We were in a neutral market, so is what it is. I mean, those are the trades you would have taken today. I ended up catching some short, like a little bit after open on that dump after we got this cross. So I was just playing pretty much the 50 reject on the 30-minute, and I knew we were sitting at higher time frame support on put, so I was able to squeeze out some short. Wasn't really a trade based on the 0-day chart, and I had super tight risk on it. I mean, I think I was down 10 points at one point, and it ended up going in my favor for like 100 points. So that's what I caught today, like majority of my gains, and I can't complain with that at all. It was pretty much, I ended up top ticking this almost. I was down 10 points, and then it dumped like 90 or dumped like 100 some. So I got lucky with that. It wasn't really off of the 0-day chart. I was just looking at the 30 and the 4-hour on puts. So, I was able to catch a good downside move off of there. I didn't call that out in the Discord just because that wasn't a trade I wanted to share. I usually like to wait first 30 minutes before, share anything in the Discord. But Colton gave that good trade right there. Never got a good entry on the cross right here. So, that's what you could have taken today. It was a solid day. If you traded the system, you should be green. You just got to know how to navigate these neutral markets. We were spoiled the last like 3 weeks because we had trend the entire time. So, that's when, we do lose trend, and, we're in a neutral market, and, you just got to take less trades. I wouldn't be expecting to get like 100 points on a trade. Anywhere over 50 is plenty for a neutral market trade. So, if you could catch that, maybe catch like 50 to 70 points and call it a day. I mean, there's no problem with that, because there's no really, not one side really has an edge. So, just make the points you can and get out and just move on the next day. That's the best thing you can do when we're neutral. And then when we do get that trend, that's when you could take advantage and really like milk out the points. So, even though today there was some green trades, you didn't have to stick around the entire day. You could just play the negative cross right there, pack it up, and then possibly we have some trend tomorrow. So it's all about just looking forward into that good days, like the good days ahead. When we do have trend, we get some really clean moves. So you don't need to really make a lot during the neutral markets. Like the trading markets is really where the money's made, and neutral market, either don't trade it or size less. I always size less at neutral market. That's just how I do it. It's just a lot less stressful, and if I win, I win. I lose, I lose. I pretty much only take 1 or 2 trades. A lot of time it's only one trade in neutral market, because I know, like I said, there's no edge. I'm just pretty much trying to survive and move on to the next day. So that's what we did today. Going into tomorrow, like I said, 30-minute here is crossed on the call side. We're waiting to see if that 50 could curl up. So pretty much if this curls up, bullish tomorrow. If it still slopes down, we're neutral. And then I'm just pretty much be monitoring to see if we could flip bullish. And if we do flip bullish, look for a call cross, 50 dip on calls. If we don't flip bullish, look for a if we start to crack below this 50 SMA here on the call side here, then look for a put cross. Maybe a negative cross on calls will work if we are already below it, but I'm not sure if that will be a trade to take or not. It really depends on what we look like at the moment. So those are scenarios for tomorrow. Again, if we go to the put side real quick, we're at like a huge spot. Like this 4-hour chart is looking like it may go negative. It's still a little early because of how far the 10 and the 50 are, but just something to keep note of is that we are at a massive spot on these higher time frames. So if these charts go negative, we're going to see a really big upside move, and that 30-minute cross on the call side will probably give a pretty good trend in my opinion, because once we get past these 50 SMAs here, we just have literally the higher time frame 50s on the call side, and The hourly right here is sloped down a little bit. Not exactly sure how far the 2 hour is. 2 hours all the way at 11, so this could run a bit. If we do cross on the 30-minute tomorrow, so hopefully we see some good action. Hopefully you guys learned from the video, learned from the yesterday's video on how to trade today. Gave you guys the game plan and it played out perfectly like usual, because there's always two sides to the trades that we take. Every day we have a plan for both sides. Like I said, we're in neutral. There's two plans usually. Sometimes when we're trading, there's two plans, but mainly it's one. Just like going into tomorrow, we have two plans in case market doesn't flip bullish. We have a plan for the neutral market. If we're bullish, okay, we have a plan for the bullish market. So there's a plan for both sides. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub. Join the course if you want to learn. I'm out. Peace.